enemy resurfaces after 16 years. A group of ex-revolutionaries reunite to rescue one of their own daughter. One battle after another. Spoilers ahead. One battle after another opens as most movies open. We're introduced to the characters. These characters, Leo DiCaprio's character, Regina Hall's character, and also some of the other revolutionaries are setting up bombs on the Mexican border, and they're setting them off. They're making phone calls, get out of the way, the bomb is coming, whatever it is. I guess they don't mean any harm, but they are doing it for a political purpose. I would say they could be considered terrorists, but then you look at it and you tell me what you think. Some of these acts include a bank robbery or stealing money. It's the same thing. But here's the point. Some of them get away. They change their identities and they live a somewhat normal life. And that would be the Leo DiCaprio character, Regina Hall. But then some of them don't. Perfidia, the Teyana Taylor character, has such an interesting character arc because she's so strong and courageous and such a leader, and then very tender at a moment where she's a mother. The Teyana Taylor character gets compromised. She's working somewhat of a double agent, working with the other side, which includes the SeanPenn character. Perfidia goes into witness protection as she's going to testify against her comrades. And SeanPenn and Perfidia, and SeanPenn is Lockjaw. The Colonel, Lockjaw, and Teyana Taylor's character appear to bond as if they're going to have a relationship. I don't know if it's just intentional to keep herself safe, but Teyana Taylor is flirtatious. And women spies, this is typical because they're trying to make certain they don't get endangered. So they use their sexuality in order to get out of a tight spot, a tight situation, a dangerous situation. The result of this friendship between Colonel Lockjaw and Perfidia means that she can go back to living somewhat of a normal life. She and Bob reunite, they get married, and they have a child. Perfidia abandons Bob and Willow, the baby. She goes on her own. Bob raises Willa by himself in Oregon, very rural. He tries to teach her code. It's a strange life because he doesn't want her to use cell phones because he's trying to protect her, because a cell phone can be traced if she uses a cell phone. He also teaches her about code. You hear a certain code, you know that's a friendly person. It's someone you can trust. If you hear certain music, you know that's someone you can trust. Now, I felt from the beginning, how far did SeanPenn go with Perfidia? Is the baby really Bob's baby, which is the Leo DiCaprio character? Or is it really the Colonel's baby, which is the SeanPenn character? But I'll just skip ahead and tell you that the Leo DiCaprio character is at home, trying to live his life undercover. Remember, he has to stay on the low because he's wanted. And then he realizes he's told that his daughter might be in danger. Lockjaw knows where Willow is, and therefore he can find Bob. Because SeanPenn never gave up during the 16 years that this young lady was born. He never gives up looking for these revolutionaries. So finally, one of the revolutionaries does tell where the other revolutionaries are. So now these guys, all these revolutionaries that we met at the beginning, they have to go on the run. The daughter is picked up at school by the Regina Hall character, Deandra, and she's taken to a camp, supposedly, I guess, to keep her safe. Now, Leo DiCaprio's character, Bob, does find out that his identity has been compromised, so he goes on a run too. Bob, Leo DiCaprio's character, seeks help from Benicio's character, Sergio. So Bob and Sergio now are working together. And with Sergio's help, Bob is able to escape a capture as well as try to find his daughter at a monastery. Sergio has insiders who help Bob escape so he can find his daughter, Willa. Before he can find Willa, Willa and Deandra have been captured by Lockjaw. And he does something very strange. He forces Willa to take a DNA test to find out if that's his child. And of course it is. Now at this point, you must understand why the DNA becomes important to Lockjaw. And it's because Lockjaw has been invited to join a group of aristocrats. They look, they're very rich, millionaires, billionaires, wearing nice clothes, smiling, looking very much like decent human beings, when they're actually white supremacists. All right, so the whole issue here is that the white supremacists do not want Colonel Jock Law in their group if he has children by black people or people that are non-white. Let's say it like that. This is why it's controversial that he has this black child. And what happens? Someone is sent, call it a fixer, whatever you want to call it. All right, so someone is sent to get rid of Willa so that this won't be an issue. And now Colonel Lockjaw can join the white supremacist group. Now, the person who's supposed to take care of this problem, the fixer, assassin, I don't know what you might call him, bounty hunter, whatever he is, right? So he seems like he's going to get rid of Willa. So he takes Willa to a desolate area in a house or shack, whatever this place is. He drops her off there and then he just leaves. But then he has an attack of conscience. You could tell it bothered him. What are they going to do to this young girl who really is quite innocent? He turns around and he tries to save Willa. And in doing so, he is taken out. The fixer sees Colonel Lockjaw driving away from the incident scene, trying to get away, and he shoots him. It causes quite naturally an accident. Bob is driving toward the accident. He sees that Lockjaw has been shot, but he's concerned about Willa. So he tries to find Willa, and he does see the fixer chasing Willa now. I guess he's gonna get rid of both of those guys, Willa and Colonel. But in a stunning segment, you see Willa outsmarting the fixer. Yeah, wait till you see it. And then, at that point, her father catches up with her. But at this point, Willa is so traumatized. Everybody's been trying to take her out. So she wants a code word, or code sound, I should say, from her father. And of course, he does give it to her before she can, at this point, I guess, take him out. And they embrace, and it's just a beautiful scene. You gotta see it. I thought Lockjaw was dead, but evidently he's not. And he tells his white supremacy group that he was seduced or raped. You could say whatever word he wants to use. And that's why he has a black child. So the white supremacy group fools Lockjaw, says, oh, you're in our white supremacy club. They don't say it like that, of course. I'm paraphrasing. However, they put him in a room and they get rid of him, and you'll see how they do it. Now, Willa and Bob do get away. They go to a safe spot, and you see a touching scene in which Bob gives a letter to his daughter from her mother, Teyana's character. You don't see her, but you do hear her words saying that she's sorry to have left her daughter. There's not a moment that she's not thinking of her. It's clear she wants Willa to know that she tried to make a difference as a revolutionary. Maybe she failed, but maybe a younger generation like Willa can help out and do something. The things a mother would say when she's absent. In the meantime, it looks as if Willa understands, but she's moving on. There's a phone call that comes into her, and she now goes to help someone else. 5 being the best, 1 being the worst, one battle after another easily comes in at a 4, and given an extra star if you love Leo DiCaprio like there's no tomorrow. One Battle After Another is rated R, and it runs 2 hours and 41 minutes. One Battle After Another is distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures. Until we meet again, it's Renee Stanley for Movie Review Relay. God bless.